West Coast. This is Black Spring with Autumn here. Just, it's moonlighting time. And my friends, I'm just going to tell you, when they say there's nothing new under the sun. Now, I kind of toiled over what I was going to entitle this stream. But let me just say, I'm going to probably do a live stream. I'm going to do a live stream on this situation. I suspect that we've been saying this all the time, the CT theater here, that that there's all kinds of biohazardous things that we're being exposed to biohazard all the time. The conditions are right for biohazard attacks. You're being attacked on every level, through the air, through the water, through the food, and even through the energy sources. But take a look at some of these diarrhea reports that are coming out. Now, I know this is not the way you want to start off your morning. It's almost 1 o'clock in the CST and 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the EST. But if you just think about it, we had warnings of Ebola outbreaks under the Obama administration, as well as the Trump administration. And now you've got airplanes taking a crap dive. Ooh, taking a skit dive on account of to me, what I think is because of all of these border openings, these illegals, and these people from all over the world, they are going to revive disease that was allegedly eradicated through medicine. It's going to make a comeback. Chicago Airport allegedly is harboring illegals behind black curtains. How do you create a shelter in a place in which these are literally world ports? My God, do you guys see what's going on here? It's not only the place of travel, but it's the place for disease. These are third world conditions being implanted on our own freaking soil. You're landing in a third world. You're landing in conditions of the third world, my friends. Chicago Airport, illegals behind black curtains. Now, I have been in Chicago in some years now. But I'm telling you, this is not a coincidence. And it would be nice if people would stop politicizing crap and just start to see the evil for what it is. And it's not orchestrated by just the left foot. I mean, you can just look at it this way. It takes you can point at individual sources, but when they say when you point the finger, you've got 5 fingers. But you can only strike a mighty blow if you ball up all 5 of those fingers. So you cannot convince me left shirt, blue shirt, red shirt. You cannot. This is intentional. In fact, I believe they are brewing something So toxic. They are creating toxic conditions, which is going to spread. What's the quickest way to spread something? Through the air. They got you landing in it, you're flying in it. Cholera, dysentery. What do you think open borders is going to do? Open borders, a petri dish for an airport. You tell me. It's time out for the illusions, guys, because it's coming to your door. It's coming to your doorstep. If they don't come to if it doesn't come to your sidewalk, it's coming to you through the air. And then the thing about it is, we've been infiltrated from every side. How do you infest an entire airport with people? Allegedly, there are violations for people that live here, but there's no violation if you're coming in. So we're importing disease. The older diseases are going to come back because some of these people have not had any form of they've not had any form of inoculation. It will be out of control. It will not be limited to airports or airplanes. It will come to your sidewalk, to your schools, to your kids. This is another people against people. What you don't know will hurt you. I just had to come on, so I'm going to cover some of this. Why has there been no why hasn't the CDC released anything about it? Or is this another way of them doing a lockdown? And they're going to blame it on climate change. Diarrhea. At least 2 to 3 Ebola outbreaks or Ebola crisis under Obama and Trump. And when people are exposed to this kind of waste, and you've got petri dishes of peoples in Chicago airports and Chicago police stations. I hear the police are having diarrhea too. It's a diarrhea party. I'm telling you guys, this is the disgust. I'm telling you, this is an attack. And if you look at these chat rooms and these posts, all you hear people doing they're politicizing, want to make it seem they want to keep their illusions going on. They want to maintain these illusions about, oh, my blue team, my red team, oh, they voted Democrat. Must be the problem. That's the only way to get here. You were a Democrat. Really? Oh, so and so was busting them from down the you NIMBYs were only complaining when it was in your Texas neighborhood, but now it's a problem in your New York neighborhood. Honestly, I'm just the illusions that people. I'm not under any illusion, but you mark my words. This is a bioweapon, petri dish in the airports. Now, for those of us that are familiar with with commercial air travel, the industry, how is that not a violation? If they are actually housing these illegals, because that's what they are, nobody knows where they've been, where they're going, what their health status is. But dysentery, I'm going to call it what it is. Dysentery on a plane. The plane brought down by shit. And a shit storm brought the plane down. You flew out of it and you land back in it. What they say, you shit twice and fall back in it? Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. That's what we're doing. That's what America is doing right now. But people say, "Oh, I'm not flying through Chicago anymore." Are you kidding me? Do you realize that the human body, this kind of disease is a weapon in itself, and if you're the host of any of this disease, it's gonna travel like it's contagious. Contagion. How many of these movies have they made? Your contagion is on the plane. Your contagion's in the airport. Your contagion's you're importing third world diseases by plane, by air, by plane, by land, water, sea, you name it. AZ, oh my gosh, AZ. I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow. Apparently, there was a flight from Atlanta. It was going to Barcelona, from what I understand, allegedly. And the passenger just had diarrhea all over the plane. To me, there's certain things, certain things are beyond diarrhea. It's beyond diarrhea. And literally, you can see the pictures on the images are online, AZ. Crap all over the seats, all over the floors. 300 and something people in a tube full of shit. Okay, this is Black Spring. I gotta put it where it is. I can't make this stuff up. I don't have to. It's already been done. But I'm telling you, Chicago, is it not interesting to you guys that people from other countries that may have never had any inoculations are being housed in one of the country's most busiest airports? One time they were number one. They ranked number one next to Atlanta. You think it's a coincidence? They said they're showing images that they're behind a black curtain. You mean tell me you got illegals in the freaking airport? That's a shelter? And then you got them housed at the freaking police department, police precinct? And now here they're attacking the police. And now the police are getting diarrhea. Hello? Who's really got the diarrhea? Who's really got it? The border, I'm telling you, we're being attacked from land, sea, air, water, you name it. What is going to be safe in a situation like this? What? You creating petri dishes for people from all over the world that nobody know anything about. These old diseases are going to come back. It's not, to me, at some point, it's not diarrhea. It's either cholera, it's risking people for cholera, dysentery. And did we not, I'm saying this, I'm going to bring this up. Did we not have emergency warnings under the Obama administration about an Ebola outbreak? Why hasn't the CDC come out, the fantastic CDC come out and said anything about it? That alone, because this is all planned. This is all planned, people. And I'm telling you, these alleged shelters, these tent cities, they look like barracks to me. Hello? Barracks. And if you're a real, if you guys, whatever you think about infiltration and all this kind of stuff and NWO, if you're a real soldier, you're trained to live in many conditions, right? But I'm telling you, nothing good will come from this if those older diseases are brought back by this manner of we are the host of the bioweapon is the human being. What do you think is gonna happen? But see, the thing about an asylum is, listen, I told you this. I'm gonna say this about this channel. I talked to you guys back in 2018 when the southern border was under what I consider an attack or invasion. The migration compact was due to be signed, and allegedly TRUMP did not sign that compact, but there were other nations, several other nations that did. And all you could see at the time was, oh, they're shooting tear gas at children, women and children. But when you look at these views on TV, most of these people on these sidewalks are men. I've seen people from China in these lines, but even these ridiculous politicians were down at the border. What is it, 5 years ago, talking about the representation of multiple nations. But then the media is trying to tell you, oh, it's only those people from the triangle, the southern triangle countries, trying to keep their little color narrative going. But the rainbow is there. You have people that don't speak any English. You got children that don't, not only do they not speak English, they don't even speak the language from where they came from. They cannot even communicate in their own native tongue. No, they cannot. But I tell you what, sickness is universal. Biohazard, disease, the result is universal. That's a universal language, disease. Some people are talking about tribulation. I'm not so sure. I'm telling you, I can't really even stand any red and blue talk because I told you red and blue make purple to me. That was fundamental. That's one of the first Crayola discoveries I made. It is, I'm telling you, what do you guys think is going to happen? People flying. If you got a petri dish of people in the airport, airplanes landing because of dysentery, diarrhea. And see what they have not released where that man was from, where he was going. So, okay, he's going to Barcelona out of Atlanta. But where was he from? Where had he been? Are you tracking and tracing the diarrhea? Are you doing that? I'm gonna tell you something about diarrhea. That to me, and I mean, I don't mean to be graphic, but I'm telling you, some of these situations, that's about as close to death that I ever want to look into. I would that's a shoulder I don't want to look over and have to look back. I don't want to have to look back at what I left behind with something like that. And then people, oh, can you imagine the embarrassment? You're worried about the embarrassment? I don't know. I'm telling you, it's like we're living in a time warp. Can you imagine the embarrassment? Can you imagine the spread of freaking disease that's happening in this country? And it's coming to you, not just your site. It's not coming just to your shelters, your empty buildings, your schools. It's coming to your door. You won't even see it coming. You won't even smell it because a lot of these, the CMVs, a lot of these diseases and viruses, they don't have any, may not be symptomatic. You may not have symptoms. Diarrhea arriving at gate 24. And see, this, my friends, also, this might be what they need to start. Oh my gosh, to the catalyst for them to bring back, to install some of that humiliating testing that I heard was going on over in China, where you're not getting swabbed, where your orifices are getting swabbed because you guys, you devils are importing this. And you remember all the talk about them going in the septic tanks and, oh, well, we found it in this. That's all it'll take, friends. That's all it's going to take. Mandated quarantines and lockdowns. This is going to add to that. This is going to compact, and this is also going to this is also going to be another catalyst for emergency, state of emergencies, more lockdowns. Listen, because they're going to want to check your crap and your vomit. Believe me, the proverbial crap has literally hit the fan, friend. You know, Americans. I'm telling you, that industry alone, I cannot tell you, when you're exposed to thousands of people a day, it's going to make the people in that industry, you're going to suffer from it. And they probably are already. They're going to take it home to their kids. The kids are going to take it to their schools. I'm just, to me, I just had a thought. I'm just telling you, I was like, my gosh, if you, especially if you're immunocompromised, if you're immunocompromised in any way, it's like everything around you is infested. We don't know. We don't know. But you haven't heard what? But you've heard no CDC warnings, nothing, because they said there was no regulation for people coming into this country. They let you know that. And what was it when they tried to put a ban or whatever, even during what was under one of these administrations for some of the African countries? Oh, there they come with the color cries again. But I'm telling you, this stuff is intentional. It's not. You were warned. You had fair warning. But people still want to engage in their illusions. They still want to fall back on that. They still want to use that as it's a safety. It's easier for us to empathize and ignore what's happening, to ignore the risk of what's going on in this country, to ignore that problems aren't going to just travel by plane. They're going to travel through the air. It's going to travel through the water. It's going to travel through the wind. It's going to travel through everything because it's been set up. We've been set up. This is another bio weapon that's been imported here. It's a worldwide one now. It's definitely a worldwide one. If they said no CV-19 checks and no mocktails for them, then you better damn well believe there is no Ebola, no cholera, none of the stuff. None of that stuff. There's no check. There's no requirement for them at all because we are all under attack. We are at war. Let me read some comments here. I probably ought to work backwards a little bit. So it is AZ. So stomach flu cases spiking in the Midwest. The CDC data shows. Here's what you should know. I'm telling you, it's. I'm telling you, these petri dish, we're being set up. AC says migrant girl 3 on a bus from Texas died of pneumonia, intestinal disease. Autopsy finds. He mentioned earlier the migrant toddler dies of infection on a bus. And then earlier, Latina A in Cali, Lahaina shall rise up again. I spoke to an illegal with her husband and children. She said the government gave her asylum papers. Of course they did. Of course they did. They have indoctrinated these people. They've told your government is telling these people what to say. Now, asylum was something that was reserved. Now, I talked about this back in 2018 about during that migration compact situation. That asylum was supposed to be a reserve. It was a reserve state, a status that was hard as hell to prove, and it was reserved. It was basically limited to places like Northern Ireland, Lebanon, Chad, the international law. But this is New World Order, my friends. There is no. Anytime you can have people in an airport you can have people living in an airport 24/7 from countries, and you don't know who the people are, where they're from. What that in if we look at it on a natural level, we say, oh, that's not lawful, that's not natural. No, it's not. If you look at it from a natural world, but we're dealing with some dark stuff. Dark people, dark agendas. U.S. citizens have been kicked out of airports, whether they chose to go to the hotel or not, due to a layover, an unexpected layover, due to a delay or whatever. They've been kicked out of it. You get the hell kicked out of LaGuardia, JFK. Yes, you will. That you will not stay there overnight. You will not. And okay, they put it 5 years ago. You could not stay there overnight. I don't even think you can stay there now. You can't even stay there now. But they're allowing this in Chicago. I'm telling you, maybe Chicago's on tap to be one of these cities. I think, I told you guys WEF has about 36 cities. Look at the numbers. 36 cities. 36 cities have been tapped. Smart cities. I think Chicago is on tap to be a smart city. And this kind of sickness and destruction is what's going to bring it. What do they say? Order out of chaos. I want somebody to break that down. I welcome you. I implore you. Come on and tell us. Order out of chaos. That this is, to me, this is the way they're going to bring in the smart cities. They're literally going to let it all go to SHIT so they can turn around and bring you and tell you, oh, we got the solution. Oh, you're going to be a smart city now. You go from sanctuary to smart by way of dysentery, diarrhea, cholera. I'm telling you, listen. Because in order to build something better build it back better, you got to tear it down, right? You got to tear it down with disease and law and craziness. I'm telling you guys, This is not what they say it is. And these stupid that every time somebody says, "Well, send them to D.C. Send them to Martha's Vineyard," that's politics. That's illusion. Because I'm telling you, somebody was saying something. There's so many there. I don't even want to. I don't ever want to live in an illusion that's so dangerous that it becomes that I create my own war of attrition. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to ever create my own war of attrition by being so being blind or being and being under the illusions that there's an actual red and a blue team. You cannot. You cannot. At this point, you cannot. And what was it? Shout out to Mr. Pearson. He just showed a video. What is this speech? This last speech, the comedy tour of Biden that he gets up and said he's just following orders. Did you guys see that? Did you see that? Whose orders? What orders? Let's see. Just I'm telling you. Let's see. Hang on a second. AZ says it came out that Bank of America turned over information concerning anyone who used a credit or debit card in the DC area on January 6th. Interesting. Well, we've been talking about that as well. Privacy is a luxury. You're not going to have any. And then the AZ says, I'm sure other banks corporate with the FBI. Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's like I was telling you guys about this company, the Mozilla Foundation, doing these reports of the privacy about your car companies. Nissan being number one, being one of the worst ones, collecting information. Some of these cars, just by you getting inside of them, it basically says that that the FBI or whatever government agencies can get a hold. They don't even need a freaking search warrant. They could just get that information from even your car companies because we're all so plugged in. We can't help ourselves. But I'm just telling you, okay, so those of you that are coming in, the rant of the evening, I'm going to do an in studio stream about this diarrhea that broke out on a plane. It was a one man diarrhea band. One man diarrhea band. There are images all over the plane. They say, oh, it's graphic. Viewer discretion is advised. Okay, so it's all over the plane, right? It was headed from Atlanta to Barcelona. Within another 3 hours, they diverted the plane back to Atlanta. They got the pilot coming over the waves. Oh, it's a biohazard. Okay. Well, you know, yeah, it's a biohazard. It's a biohazard. Okay, but I'm just saying, do you think Chicago and they're housing these illegals and they're not and people need to stop their narrow crap view that these people were just from the Southern Triangle countries. No, they're not. That's been a lie at least since 2017. I remember Ted Cruz went down there and said that he saw men from 52 countries. That was the same year I was reporting on the migration compact. The same year they said the border was under attack, and they were, demonizing the border patrol and putting images out there that the U.S. was firing tear gas at women and children. Same year. But now you're telling me that is it a coincidence that there's a black curtain in the Chicago airport is housing illegals right now behind a black curtain? Millions of people go through the airport every single day. But you got planes landing due to shit storms. Literally. Yeah, you might better take cover. Because I'm being, hey, it's a graphic topic. What can I say? It's a bio topic, a biohazard topic, a bioweapon topic is what it actually is to me. And what did we have? Who's got it? What was it? Were there a couple of Ebola outbreaks under Obama? 2014. And then I think, was there one under TRAUMP? I'm telling you, it's coming. It's going to come. This red team, blue team stuff. Hey, disease, pestilence, famine, all that stuff doesn't know any illusions of political affiliation. It does not. It's coming to your schools, it's coming to your kids, it's coming to your workplace. Because the human host is carrying these diseases. When you don't know people's inoculation status, you can't communicate with people. You can't communicate with their kids. And some of them didn't even go to school in their own countries. That's how bad this is. Now, I'm just saying, at some point, if somebody's got quote diarrhea all over the plane, one man, that's more like how. What is that? What was it caused by? Where had he been? Are they? I'm telling you guys. Are you going to do contact tracing now? Oh, what they're going to start doing is taking samples and we're looking for CV-19. We're going to check your crap and your vomit. I'm telling you guys, the next however many years, how many years do we have until the doomsday clock with Corona Chuck? He's got the doomsday clock running in England, in the kingdom. For the next what is it? This is 2000, the next less than 7 years. To me, it's just gonna be like hell on earth. And all I can do is pray pray. And some people aren't even going to have what it takes they don't have the courage to endure. They cannot. They're not going to be able to take it because they're massively deceived. And to me, those people are dangerous. I don't want those people. When something goes down, you better hope you got somebody that's got discernment. You better hope it's somebody that's been awake when it goes down, when the major stuff, when it comes to your neck of the woods. Because we don't know the date, time, or hour, but we know something's wrong. We know something is majorly wrong. And I'm gonna put what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull all these reports together and do a stream because I'm hearing that the migrants are at the Chicago police precinct. They're housing them at the police stations. Now they're beating up the cops. Oh, you didn't see that coming? You see that coming either, did you? Now the cops got diarrhea. Where do you think the cops going after he gets off from work? Just saying. Just saying. Let me just read some comments here. Let me see. Latina A. Cali says, I've known about illegals from all over the world coming in through Mexico since before 9/11. We were warned after 9/11. Hi, friendly outcast. Simone Watchman says, better leave my crap leave my crap alone. Look, we want the rights to our own crap. Schwab. He said, you own nothing to be happy. That's included. You don't even have any privacy anymore. Yeah, you went from the face diapers to now some people need a diaper. They really do. And I'm telling you, when planes started landing because of dysentery, cholera, Ebola, I hear, what this. Oh, just keep on, go find nothing to see here. Just keep on traveling. But to me, it's either going to be a mass quarantine, you're going to get all of that chaos, and then you're going to get a smart city. I'm telling you, out of chaos comes a smart city. Is that what it is? You guys been hear about a smart city. And that, hey, it makes sense, right? You get a 15-minute city, you got to, hey, we're going to cut down you're going to cut your risk down for all of that business. We're going to make it a 15-minute city. And you will be under somebody's rulership. Yeah, they're going to give you the food, you supply the food and the water and the technology. Yeah, just like a nice little utopia. What is it? What was that line out of the Shawshank Redemption? Andy Dufresne crawled through a river of shit. He came out clean on the other side. He gonna come out smart on the other side, coming out of Chicago. Now check it out. I told you guys the World Economic Forum has 36 cities in the world they've tapped to be smart cities. So that's how you gonna come out clean on the other side. Crawling through the rivers of mm-hmm. Now I don't know if I'm stretching, if I'm overreaching now, just let me know. I'm just saying, sometimes you gotta laugh to hold back tears. This is really sad, folks. Really sad. Like I told you, Chicago used to be number one for the busiest airport in the world. I know one of the busiest is between Chicago and Atlanta. If Atlanta's not number one, then it went back to Chicago. But they know, is that a coincidence? Some people say there are no coincidences. You're harboring illegals at the airport. You're building tent cities. No, to me, you're building a barracks. If you look at the views, the news views of these tent cities that they're building, people all the way up to Staten Island complain, "Oh, what was it, like a psychiatric hospital? They were getting ready to stuff them in a psychiatric hospital across the street from a girls' Catholic school." The people got out there and beat the streets. Oh well, guess what? The judge is gonna give us a temporary order, so they cannot do this. I mean, seriously. In a way, all this red blue stuff to me is very it's quite if you think it's kind of un-American, right? Because the minute that one politician or whatever that can use any people or group of people or community as a pawn, that's still an attack on everybody. It's not a if they put people in places that ultimately leads to harm, then that person didn't do you a favor. The political dig doesn't matter. The political dig caused harm. So how is that right for how is that American? If you can applaud a governor from sending them from one end of the country to another, but it still causes harm. The same harm is just diffused. Just because you diffuse harm against the people of this country, that is not for the betterment of the American people, for anybody. Okay, get some of them off of your trail. Oh, send them up. It's like silly, all these silly things. Oh, send them to Martha Vineyard. Yeah, what? As they say, injustice against any of us is an injustice against any of the people or any of the cities where people it should be considered an injustice against all of us. But I guess people just can't help themselves. They love their politics more than they value their politics over anything. It's not even about, there should be only one option to this. This is not happening. Shut your end down. Put your finger in the dam. Don't let anybody else through. Because are we taxed? Are we taxed as Americans based on whether we vote red or blue? I'm just saying, help me out, folks. The bigger picture, it's not getting through. You're not taxed whether you're red or blue. It's all coming out of the same damn pot. If one says to tax you, another one doesn't agree, and the one that you voted for, you're still the taxed ass. You still are taxed. You still got that tax coming. So I'm sorry, friends. The red and the blue stuff doesn't work for me. We are in a fall. We are in a great decline right now. And there is no illusion that's going to save it. All we can do is pray that we can endure to the end, because that's really all we have. They don't give you less taxes. You're not your tax rates aren't less. Your inflation is not any less because you voted blue or you voted red. We're all in the same petri dish right about now. We've been in the same petri dish. Whether you agree with this was policy or that one, you're still getting these taxes. You're still paying for people to come into schools and whatnot, or and use resources that they've not contributed to. You're still paying for that. So no, I don't find it's not satisfactory for me to see a quote sanctuary city get what's coming to them. That's another illusion. There's nothing sanctuary. It's opposite of sanctuary. Whatever they call it, it's the opposite of that. It's not sanctuary. It's very much defiled. It's a defiled house, baby. It's not a sanctuary. I can think of a lot of things that I can call these cities, but it's not sanctuary. It's not sanctified. It's not sanctuary like. No, it's a defiled house. Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's just, I cannot take, I'm just telling these narratives. We're all foobarred, but people just still want to keep, because we're at the point of no return. We're at the point of no return. I don't care if you put, I don't know. It doesn't matter really who you put in there now. This place is not coming back from this. The quality of life, everybody, because that was one of the main things. The quality of life was going to go down because of all of this wonderful leadership. The illusion chips, we're falling fast. We're falling out of the sky. And that's why I can't. There's some of these people that I follow. I can't. It's just kind of. I cannot. I don't even like following a lot of these people anymore. It's just because I don't. I don't like. I mean, you notice that my show has gone. I had to come away from so many of the, I had to come away from the illusions because that's exactly what they are. And I want to think, I'm going to thank you guys. We've grown. We started the class of 2019, the CV19 class of 2019, and the CV19 class of 2020. You guys have been here with me. Some of you have been here with me since 2018. But we've grown together. We were on lockdown together. We were on. We were. Hey, no, we no. Let me walk it back. We were. How many days was it? Just how many days? And 14 days to stop the spread. We were on that. We were on the bend the curve together. Bend the curve together. We were on all of these things until we fully graduated into a live exercise called the CV19, and it's still going on. I mean, do you guys remember? Like, I haven't even, you notice I haven't even covered any of these freaking debates. There is no debate to me. I mean, I only think it would be comedy to me, pure comedy. I bring myself to do one. You guys, what was it? The last election, you guys were here. I said, meet me at the debate. I remember that particular stream. Shout out to the Lockhart Perspective. Shout out to DJ Vision Barnett. Where are these people? If you're within the sound of my voice, there's one other element. But I'm telling you guys, you guys have been here for a while. You know the history. And I'm just saying, like we went through. I mean, my gosh, I feel like you guys, we went through our own college, the college of the CV19, college of the CV19 through 2020 and beyond. That 2020 election came with, it was the beginning of a new era. And I've said this many times, we're not going back to the way it was. You cannot go back. You will not go back. It's like, and then what was it? The Matrix. I mean, oh, aren't you glad that do you regret that you took the red pill? Oh my gosh, what a deal. Like hey, I said at this point we gotta have we need that clear pill is what we need. I'm so glad that I got a better pill than that. And it's not even a pill. But I appreciate you guys for all that you've contributed and for the amount of discernment that I've gained. Some of you guys have contributed a multitude of things on this channel, and I just want to let you know I appreciate you for that. Some of you guys have contributed on a spiritual level. Some of you guys have contributed on a, you know, just a higher. You've raised the level of discernment. Some of you guys have contributed on a showing there's a difference between the natural and the supernatural, and the supernatural is there. I'm thankful for it all. We still haven't gotten to our 411 on sustainability because I'm telling you, like, even my poor tomatoes were burning from the bottom. Like, I've got leaves in the backyard that are yellow, like on fire yellow, just burned, parched. Control what we can control, right? Control what we can control. Let's see what I have. AZ says it's a red herring. I'm ready. We knew it was just a bio warfare from the beginning. By the way, I haven't heard anything from I know. I need to check it. I need to see what's going on there, AZ. I need to see what's going on. You know, because we've been, and like I said, I'm thankful you guys have been there. You guys have been there. And there's been times where I've wanted to say, oh, I don't know if it's, what if, is it worth it? Well, what is it? It is every day. You can't get away from it. You can't escape it. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay here until the waves, I'm gonna stay here until the waves or won't let me ride anymore. I'm gonna do that. But I just figured I wanted to come in and talk to you guys. But I'm gonna bring those stories to the live stream. But I also want to bring back that, we received warnings in 14. So what was 2014? We're talking 9 years ago. There were emergency outbreaks, and under the Obama administration in 14. It seems like there were two. It seems like there were two. But then even under Trump, I think you're right, Az, and I need to get it together. I've got to get my sustainability up because I have been lacking and slacking, and yeah, it's got to happen. So you're gonna pay for the whole. Well, there you go. That's what's necessary, and I think I need to make a big dent in that between from now to the end of the year, because that's the other thing I've been talking about, the economy. We have a strike. You have an auto worker strike, and I think those workers, their contracts end at the end of the month, so they don't have a deal. Okay, so that's going to probably make the cost of the used cars and the new cars go up, which I'm hearing the average car payment is about $800 now. So it's going to cost you more to own a car. Okay. What is the next thing? Oh, the Saudis are they're cutting, they're going to reduce the production on the oil. So what was I seeing something that the oil could get up to $200 a barrel? So it's like all of your resources are like, your inflation is going through the roof and there's no end in sight to it. Your food cost, at home food, restaurant food, 3.5, 4.5%. What did we not have another plant or something that burned recently that's responsible for a pretty good chunk of food? Shout out to AZ's. I think they're playing something really right. Well, what was it we were talking about not too long ago, earlier this year? You guys remember the Prepare Denver? They had these emergency days. I think it might be time for Black Spring to go in the Black Spring channel to go into emergency mode. It might be time. Get back the prepper. We need to bring a prep series in. 411. Even maybe it needs to be off script, offset, off screen. Because I'm telling you, this quote diarrhea thing is really concerning to me. Really, really concerning. You can't tell me that a petri dish of migrants in the Chicago airport, open borders, dysentery on the planes, diarrhea, dysentery on the planes. You cannot. Like I said, that's your like I said, they're gonna be checking people's crap and their vomit. Oh, and they're gonna do it on the auspices of CV-19. We gotta check it. Because I think they've been doing that anyway. Wasn't that was a study that we found? We found pieces on that earlier in this saga, that they were checking, that they were going into the sewage, going into the sanitation. And it seems like I was hearing at one point that they were doing that. Yeah, it seems like there were things coming out about the Chinois, that they were that's where you were getting tested from. You were getting tested from one of your not so. You were getting tested from the devil's mouth. If you know that orifice that I'm referring to, you weren't getting tested. They weren't swabbing your nose. They were going to your output. They were going to your to the outlet. They were going to that other port to get that sample. I'm just something to think about. Now I'm just saying. This next set of CV-19 tests might not be so dignified. You just remember the plane coming down. But I appreciate you guys. And Mr. Lyons, hope you're doing well. It's a nasty something. It's a nasty world. It's wicked, evil in last days. And to me, it's not going to get easy. Some just say, they say, don't get sloppy because it's not going to get any easier. Oh, Mr. Lyons, I'm surprised they ain't terminate my, well, they dogpiled me. They tried to, what they did do was they tried to, they tried to kill my channel or whatever. I never got, which I was never out for the monetization, rather. I was never out for the monetization. So you might as well tell the truth. You still, while you can. While you can. Linus, is the airline going to sue? I doubt it. No. Nope. But yeah, so I'm going to keep an eye on this diarrhea story because I think there's more to it. I think people are going to be I think a lot of people are about to get sick. There's going to be another lockdown. Like a lot of people, you're crazy. We're not going for that again. The hell you won't. The hell you won't go for another hey, I'm telling you. The diarrhea, dysentery, that'll put you on your behind. Yes, you will. They released that one on you. You won't have any choice but to be down. That is not a pleasant situation. And you will be quarantined. You will be quarantined just by default. But you can't put people from all over the world. You can't. This is literally, it's already it's a third world status. You bringing back the old diseases of old. And you brought them back through people that have never been inoculated, people that don't speak the language, people's kids that don't speak the language, people that they don't even go to school. They don't go to school. So I'm just saying, we have imported the third world so we could bring, I'm telling you, anything to bring this nation down. They need to do it by the economy and they need to do it by the human host. Those are the two weapons. If they can destroy the economy and destroy the people's health, and weaken the people, that's how they'll bring it. They'll finish it off. Rome will fall. And to me, this place is so much like ancient Rome. It's scary. All the things that made Rome great are the things that it fell from. It fell. They talk about other nations and other places, for other nations and civilizations falling, due to debauchery, decadence, you name it. This one is on the same path, if not worse. This is worse. This would be worse than ancient Rome. This would be worse than, it's worse. The other thing is, oh my God, I'm going down the rabbit hole today. The other thing that's on the rise is the what is it? They're talking about the STDs in Texas. Man, you guys are take cover if you can't handle it. Woo. Did I need a biohazard bag for this moonlight stream. Woo, give me about somebody pass me a biohazard bag for these topics. I'm hearing that the STDs, certain STDs in freaking Texas are they've even started putting they got more billboards than ever. But then, we've had people that have talked about, that all that talk about know your status. Even Prince Harry was talking about knowing your status and how he was continuing his mother's work because you need to know your status and you need to have in-home testing to know your status. My friends, I'm telling you, this is some nasty stuff. Everything that keeps coming up. Was that my Robin Leach? Was that my Robin Leach accent? You guys remember the caviar dreams? This is like this is a crap nightmare. But yes, it's twisted. Shout out to Uncool Paranoia. I need you to come in on this. They were talking about how it's important for you to know your status. It just seems like all this stuff came about right after that 2020 election. Talked about the stigma of HIV and with Texas, Houston is the city that they've cited that the STDs are going crazy. But then also go back to we've talked about that mocktail. That those numbers are spiked too. Oh my gosh. Hi, Independent Betty. She says, I don't dream about caviar. Yeah, only at moonlight with Black Spring would you get a chance to hear my accent. Yeah, I don't know. Just they pick one. I'll try my best. But I'm telling you, it's something else what's going on here. It's like every freaking disease is gonna make like we're the land of a disease. Third world. Now there's certain STDs that are on the rise or whatever, but I tell you, I don't even want to know has anybody seen the HIV reports? It's like, well, I was telling you guys the other day about how Megyn Kelly came out. We're on the mocktail. We're pivoting, but somewhere right now, destinations somewhere between diarrhea and CB19 and HIV. Now we're gonna land soon. Believe me, okay. Uh, but Megyn Kelly, I saw a report on her, and this is an interview she was doing saying that she took the mocktail. She said that she had a physical. She said she's 52 or 50 something. She said that she ended up getting a physical and ended up with an autoimmune. And then she followed that up and said, "Oh, I asked my doctor, did that have anything to do with me getting a rooster and then catching you know, the sniffles?" She said, "Yeah, you're not the only case like that." Oh yeah, okay. See, the thing about it is, even these doctors, they've been sworn to secrecy on that whole thing, and I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. They were they were incriminating themselves by telling you the truth about that. But I'm telling you, it's going to come out, and it's like, to me, it's making it like you better be careful who you're dealing with out here. You better know what you're doing. I mean, yeah, and that's including myself. So I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. But yes, I will be doing a report on this nasty diarrhea that fell from the sky. Diarrhea coming down out of the sky. Atlanta to it was going to, it's diverted back from Atlanta to, from going to Barcelona, but diverted back to Atlanta. That particular plane. That's where this whole conversation started from. Okay. So tomorrow, I think I might go ahead and do it. The images are all over. I think some of the images are on TikTok. And then, but like I said, I was telling you, the people have been on here since I started. The comments. Oh, the embarrassment. I'm like, could you imagine what the hell you just got exposed to? 300 and something people. 300 and something people. I mean, and you couldn't even get out of your seat with that much crap. Like your whole travel, your whole makeup was infested. Yeah, but and not to mention Chicago police they're getting diarrhea too right about now. Sound like coincidence to you guys? Diarrhea on the plane, diarrhea on the in the police stations of Chicago, migrants behind black curtains and this migrants. Now who would choose why would they choose an airport to put illegals in? Why would they do that? Because it's going to infect the world. That many people with nobody knowing their status on anything. They're going to get on their plane and go somewhere else and give it to some more people. Go back overseas or wherever, give it to some other people. And before you know it, you got another demic. Before you know it. So I want to thank you guys, per usual, for coming on in. Right. So this allegedly happened like 5 days ago. What, Mr. Lyons, you said that's almost my accent? I don't even know. Before I knew it, I was in that accent. I don't know. But it was like, I was talking about Prince Harry, and he was saying you should know your status, right? There's a whole campaign. Gosh, Uncool Paranoia, where are you? She had some great work. Go check out Uncool Paranoia. She had some great work on that whole subject. The whole thing. But just keep your eyes open, because I'm telling you, and I'm going to say this too. I personally, at this point, I don't know. I don't know if you can mask, if a mask will help anybody, especially if outbreaks of Ebola and cholera and all this stuff get going from all these people from all over the place that nobody knows what they have. They have no immunization cards. They have no, that's one of the cardinal rules of travel. They tell you not to drink the water. But they don't tell you not to breathe the air. They don't. They don't tell you that. So I appreciate you guys so much. Yes, thank you, Independent Many United. Go over to Uncool. I'm gonna have to reach out to my Midwest Midwest friend. Yeah, I want to. What's going on in your guys' neck of the woods? Or is there? I want to know if you guys are you guys having diarrhea outbreaks? I want to know if you've got what are the what I mean. If you get on the pendulum, come on in with it. Come on in with it. If you're in Texas and you're seeing STD boards, more billboards going up, come on in. If you send me the photo, send it to me. Send it. Mr. Line says, I remember following you back in 2020, but lately you've been in the algorithm. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't know I did not realize you had been around that long. I appreciate it. Yeah, but I always, as they say, shout out to my friends and classmates of 2019 and class of 2020. Things will never be the same. They will not. And like, these moonlight streams are kind of special because I just go. I just start running my mouth. Not, I start going. I'm just telling you. So we need a diarrhea meter. Diarrhea meter in your area. We said pain at the pump, whatever you got. Anybody buying in the market for a new car, let us know what your sticker price looks like on that. I guess I'm going to follow the auto worker strike as well. I'll follow the Saudis' unilateral cuts to the oil as well. I appreciate it. So let me say thanks to everybody for coming in and listening to me. So, hey, I'm telling you, the studio in stream will be. I said, oh, you want to be graphic? It's going to be graphic. Um, the plane, crap on a plane, right? There's the movie for you. All right, AZ, I thank you so much for tuning in and thank you for all of your stimulating and for keeping us on our toes. But yes, I'm just thinking that I said all that to say that I just think that sickness is coming to the land. And it's being flown in, it's being brought in, it's being bussed in. It's coming to you on land, sea, air. It's coming. I don't know. Some people have talked about tribulation. If you want to contribute something to that, that's fine. We'll do that. You can do that too. I'm thankful for all the spectrums for you guys, what you brought to this channel over the years. Let me give it a couple more thank yous here. Latina 8, and Callie, Lahaina shall rise up again. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. AZ came in hot with the toddler report. Yeah, I see. These are things that I didn't even know. It's CBS News. So you got the migrant girl, 3 on a bus from Texas, died of pneumonia, intestinal disease. Imagine that. Yeah, NBC Chicago, stomach flu cases spiking in the Midwest. Said the bus that the little girl was headed for Chicago. Amazing. Let's see, so thank you, AZ. I'm definitely gonna pull this up. Samoan was here. He says, pull the little string and I'll sing you a little song. He's their puppet. There you go. Mr. Lines, Independent Many United. Thank you guys so much for coming. I mean, I'm just kind of random these days. I haven't been on anybody's show. I haven't done anything like that in so long. My schedule's kind of wonky like that. But, at some point I may have to try to get in and see. If you have a regular show or something, I don't know. I want to tune in to the show. And, sometimes it's just nice for me to just be I started out in the audience. Started out as somebody I started out in the audience, or maybe I just started out in the comment section. Shout out to Derek C. Williams. Shout out to you. I hope you're doing well. And Mr. Lyons, thank you. Oh, you're from New Zealand. He said, I thought it was safe over here, but no. Okay. Yeah, yikes, right? All right, guys. Uh, okay. So the next stream I do, I'm going for health and economy, an outlook. Outlook. All right, guys, have a great rest of your morning. It's almost time for everybody to go to work. Go to bed. I'll talk to you guys later. Stay safe. Is that still what they say? No, stay safe, be safe. I say pray is what I say. But put on the armor of God and pray. Pray that we endure to the end. Pray. Pray that we have the courage to do that.